Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. And as the Russians say, Dobre večer. We are here today for a pretty spicy matchup between SKADE and ESPADA on train, Keith. And of course, my name is Stronglegs. This beautiful man right here is Keith LaFortune, and we'll be the ones bringing you the commentary throughout today's matches for both EU and not him for NA, but I will be here. But Keith, let's get into this one. So I'm looking already on this HLTV page between these. I'm looking at their histories, and I'm seeing a lot of back and forth. These guys have played together or against each other for a while. And interesting fact, they've had the same roster since last season of Winners League. So they've had no changing players, not even a single person. All five players are the same. So I can only imagine they have leveled up since the last time we have seen these teams, Keith.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking at the same page as you are. The head to head, you're right, as close as it can really be. Lately, it's been SKADE besting ESPADA, 16-3 overpass, 16-3 train, 16-3 mirage. I feel like there's a trend there, and those score lines to me scream SKADE winning some ecos and winning some rounds maybe they shouldn't. Because 16-13, it's a weird score line to kind of sit at.
Yeah.
But if you look at Spada playing recently, they took a map off Complexity in a BO3. They beat Navi Jr. Meanwhile, on the SKADE side of things, getting a map off Smash and Endpoint, both teams are on the up and up and having a close game with Sprout and Pack. So both these teams seemingly have been getting better. And I think they're both teams that last season impressed us. So it's pretty cool to see them being the exact same.
I completely agree, actually. But just going back, I see that they've actually went back. So SKADE has gone head toe to toe with Smash. They've won maps. They've lost in the BO3, but also took a map off them. So they're 2-2 in that aspect. They've come close to Pact, which of course is an insane roster right now. They've gone overtime against Sprout. Like these guys are competing at probably one of the highest levels, that are outside of the pro scene, that are outside of that, just on the cusp of that T2 potentially, right? Maybe still in the T3 area right now, top 30 in the regions. But this is, in my opinion, going to be interesting. Again, this is Train, a map that I think, if I was to just guess, I'd say this is a 50-50, right? We've seen this spot just absolutely pop off. I mean, first of all, Russians, CIS players on Train, I don't want to play against them. I want nothing to do with that. But of course, the Bulgarians last season, Train was one of their better maps as well. They looked sometimes scary, terrifying even on that map.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Roy. Rocking's the op, right?
Uh,
If memory serves, it's either him or Denny's Lawn. I can't remember.
no, it's Denny's
100%. It's Denny's Lawn. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember a specific game from last season on Train where he just popped off. I can't remember the details because I have just the memory of an 80-year-old man. I guess it runs the family. I don't know. But no, SKADE are nuts on this map. Although their win percentage might not reflect it, I think that's just an attribute to the teams they're playing and how close the matches are. But at the same time, you do have Sophic, Dima, and they don't care. They'll peek you, right? And they'll take fights against you.
Yeah.
But with the SG being changed and not used anymore, it might throw a wrench in the works of how we see this play out, honestly.
I mean, we've already kind of seen the symptoms of that already, right? On Overpass, for example, we used to see like 9 rounds on T side, sometimes 10 rounds on T side almost consistently. But now we're kind of like reverting back to that traditional score line. And of course, by the way, shout out to our sponsors, VBet. They're an amazing sponsor. Check them out, of course, up here. But a name I want to throw into the mix here is actually Dexter. He's the opper for the Espada side. In my opinion, one of the youngest rising talents of that region. A terrifying opper, super freestyle, really hard to predict. Just like runs around the map, does whatever he wants, whatever Dexter wants. Dexter is getting like a spoiled child. Like he's just doing whatever he wants with that op. And on a map like Train, where you have so much mobility and freedom to just like go on top of the trains, peek down from below, move over to the side bomb, peek from a different angle. Like this is a playground for him almost in some senses. And I'm expecting at least that he will have a pretty strong performance on this map specifically.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his individual like stats over the last little while, and he's been having some insane games. Unlike not the like Train specifically. I mean, there's one against Pro 100. We went 25-16 on Train, 28-8 against Hard Legion, another amazing CIS team, and he absolutely popped off. He's been playing Train a lot. And it seems like one of his best maps, consistently speaking. Like I'm looking through, Mirages are really good for him. Infernos are there. Train is kind of like the third most played map for them lately, but he is consistently good. So that's kind of scary when you're 18-year-old Opper who, has probably grinded his way up to this point and now is hitting that level of consistency.
He's hitting that peak.
That's scary. Yeah.
And probably, hopefully, at least many more of peaks to come, right? Like, there's so many players, like, they peak, and then a year later, they maybe break through their own barriers, or maybe they get signed to a better team, or you know, a T1 team, and like they just start hitting new peaks, right? And then the more teams that you play against, obviously you're hitting high levels. But I mean, I think just the fact that they've been stable allows players to get comfortable. They can work out their kinks, they can work out some of their flaws and their defaults, and just like general strats, and like they've collected so many variations to the things that they've been running consistently over time, right? And like we're talking about like a roster that's been together for longer than 6 months. That's pretty long time, like probably hitting upwards of like almost a year now. But I think we're almost ready to go. I think we have 10 players in the server. As soon as the knife round begins, we will be jumping straight into the action, and we'll get that going for us here. But in the meantime, we do have a second matchup coming up around in about 2 hours. It is, I believe, let me get that correct, is Kova versus Fate.
Fate, yeah.
And by the way, Kova still has the same roster as well. So I mean, this season of Winners League EU, man, I'm telling you, it's intense.
Damn.
These guys are leveled up. They've been together for a while. I can only imagine the level of Counter-Strike and competition has increased.
Yeah, I mean, just for a little teaser, I'm just kind of looking at Fate's like recent 5-6 matches. They beat Jalapeno, they beat Movie Star Riders, they beat Hellraisers in BO3. So I mean, clearly these guys are on the up and up. And Kova, to talk to them as well, beating LDLC lately, close matching at Smash and Endpoint, teams that are also on the up and up. So both those teams looking kind of fresh. They have very different map pools. So when we get to that, it's going to be interesting to see where we land on that.
Yeah, that's the one thing with this matchup for the ESPADA and SKADE specifically. These guys have like almost the identical map pool. Like I think there's only one map that they're not overlapping with, but I mean,
they both banned Vertigo, so no problem there.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting to see how this one plays out. Yeah, it's almost ready to go, guys. I think they're just having some sort of problems. I think all the players are not connected, so it shouldn't be too much longer. But yeah. Anything else you might wanna say or add to this?
No, I think Train is at a really good spot. I think it was kind of in a weird like transition phase when the SG was super strong, right? Like I felt like the T side was getting way more traction than what you should, and it was even like average T sides were getting way more than what even good T sides were back when the AK was around. So I think it's good. It's good for the economy. It's good for the growth of the game now that the SG is back to where it should be and the AKs are reigning supreme again, which means we'll get more back to normal kind of halves. You can still run away with a half on the T side of Train, but it means you're going to have to play perfect. It means you're going to have to win those aim duels, and you're going to have to be really good at and proficient at baiting out utility, not getting opening picked on. The SG gave you the movement to just take all these fights freely. You didn't really need utility behind them. You could just take all the fights and win the range duels. So I think this map's back where it should be, and I think Train's the most exciting when it's AKs working around the map and a clean default. So,
and I'm also curious to see how the culture of Ivy is going to develop over time here as well. Because, I mean, at one point during the SG meta and the era, right, everyone's like, dude, don't even fight Ivy. It's not even worth it, right? If you have an op, okay, we can fight Ivy. But otherwise, you're mostly just rifled out. And I think we're ready to go. I think we're about to see all this theory and these predictions come into play. Let's get the action rolling, Mel. Kick the show, and let's begin.
Yeah, another thing I'm interested to see, Roy, is a little thing that kind of flew under the radar on Train was the opening of the skyboxes near Ivy. Now, it doesn't give you much, but you can smoke Z, you can smoke back green, you can smoke ladder. Obviously, you can see the smoke coming, but it's an interesting thing that if you want to pull it out in your default and like smoke ladder, for example, into a ladder pop with pistols and catch them off guard, perhaps. Well, I haven't seen too much of that getting used, so maybe some teams will slowly pick up on it. I know it's kind of useless because you're so far disconnected, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think the most popular thing that's come into play is the Ivy smokes, right, from T-Spawn. Those are probably been the back green smokes, rather. So I think those are the biggest things that have come out of the skybox change. But in the meantime, let's see what SKADE's up to here. So they have 2 set of utilities, Rainbow Nades for Spellin, Dennis Law rocking the P250 with Smoke and Flash. This is suggesting that this is probably looking at a long-range fight here outside the T-Con. But I think they might be going for a fake here towards inner. Not entirely sure. That minimap is a little bit misleading. But they do have the Rainbow Nades. I think they're just going to go ahead and execute from top ladder completely here.
Yeah, just pretty chill for the most part right now. Denny's Law making sure no one's going to push down Ivy and get any free information as he jumps into position with his smoke flash. 2 players are in T-Con. As Patsy looks to get some information. Dima's going to block the smoke, but it gives him a little bit of room to come through now. He's going to go backstop. Rocking's going to come out of ladder. Keep an eye on the player in heaven. Dima's going to fall right away from Rocking. He's going to take the fight with Dexter in heaven, who gets gushed up. He's losing teammates now, and here come the rest of SKADE onto the site. Dexter's still alive. They have to deal with him because they're starting to get flanked now from Patsy. They'll finally deal with Dexter, and just Patsy alone. He drops the bomb, Roy. Spellin versus Patsy. Does he know he's in ladder? He won't. He gets gushed. Still alive on 13 HP, and they're fighting each other now. They're look how low Patsy is, and he's just piecing out. That's the smart play.
Yeah, it is a smart play. I think he's looking for the headshot angle, right? It's pretty much your only bet here. If you can if you could just keep running and tagging him once without any armor, that might be his key as well. But with 20 seconds left on the clock, Spellin is running out of time and running out of options. Now, he kind of has an idea of where Patsy is, but I think he's overthinking it. Now, Patsy will reposition, and that might just buy him his chance here. With only 10 seconds left, Spellin has to force down that bomb as soon as possible. Oh, this is...
Oh, he's going to let him just not get money. That's so smart. I don't know if he did it intentionally, but he doesn't pull the trigger, and now Spellin gets no money. Spellin will kill him. He only gets $300, though. That's kind of big brain.
And he gets the satisfaction of killing Patsy. That's always good. But
yep.
Very, very well played. I love the trigger discipline there from Patsy. And I think he kind of didn't even want to risk potentially whiffing and dying, but to an instant flick. So he's like, you know what? He's not planting the bomb. I'm going to let him go. That was beautifully played, though. That's amazing trigger discipline. I have to give him that. But now it's going to be here to buy for ESPADA. The FAMASs, the MP9s are out. A little bit of utility as well on top of that. And SKADE, considering Rainwaker's economy, or excuse me, considering Spellin's economy, they're just going to force up. They know that they're not going to get a good buy in the next round, so they might as well try their chances here with the deagle, with the armor, and a bit of utility.
Yeah, I'm all for some deags, some 1-deags on train. There are some possibilities for it. But if ESPADA play safe to their game plan, they should be okay. A good flash allows Dima to get 2 towards Ivy. Patsy on top green is going to have a heyday here with his FAMAS. Rainwaker is going to be able to get 1, but now he's all alone, Roy. Never a good time. He's hoping to find 1 more, and I think they may give him the chance to. But now he's so low on HP. He's stuck with the bomb, has a flash, and a smoke, and just gets tapped through the smoke by Finnegan. There you have it. ESPADA lose, I believe, an MP9, or was that FAMAS on Patsy? Either way, I mean, keep it 4 alive. Not so shabby. Yeah. And it's just going to have to be another deagle round from SKADE.
Yeah, exactly. The follow-up round here is the most important one, right? This is where they can kind of get their money rolling, use this bonus round to just collect as much cash as possible. They still have the farming machines in the form of MP9, so look for that for the extra cash. But besides that, there's really nothing much here for SKADE to work with except the hand cannons, right? No armor, only a single HE for Spellin. But in terms of flashbangs and smokes, they got nothing. And look at this nade just chunking him down inside the T-Con. It's already a 2-for-1 deal, so ESPADA off to a pretty good start here. Hold that thought.
Without armor, he gets aim punched and still hits the second shot on Dima. Dexter's like, you know what, I do kind of want this FAMAS. He drops the MP9 a couple times, finds it, will get the last kill. ESPADA get the 3 off the pistol. SKADE get, I'd say, not enough damage on those upgraded pistol rounds. And you can see ESPADA have set themselves up for a buy after this, while SKADE won't have enough unless Rainwalker goes for the op. Yeah, so it's going to be an op-less, just all rifles, all AKs across the board, full utility. And we'll see what they choose to do in their first rifle.
Hey, look how crazy the buy is here for ESPADA as well. They have such an interesting purchase. They have 2 FAMAS, they have a single MP9, and of course the op for Dexter, which hopefully will be the main risk-taking weapon here for the squad. But look for the MP9 inside ladder. I believe that Patsy's already in there, so that's a perfect position for a good adjustment there from them in that aspect. But I am concerned for SKADE's ability to convert this round from an early round into the mid round. The AK-47s might be a little bit hard to contest with on the outside courtyard against the op.
SKADE gonna go ahead and start to use this Ivy utility. Smoke left, molly right. It's been around for what feels like forever, and it's so hard to combat it. It forces utility out of ESPADA. That's what SKADE want. Dima may call for some assistance, as there's gonna be a flash over the top. Dima will peek with it, and he is just gonna go ahead and use his molly now. So they're pretty much out of counter nades to hold SKADE back here. There's the smoke. But I think it may even have a gap, and SKADE are going to creep up to it, but being held back nicely from ESPADA. For what they had, they're They're making the best of it, and they've wasted over a minute. So SKADE are going to change their attention to T-Con here, Roy. And through the smoke comes Pat. He's going to give chase. He is going to go down to Softic, who now, the bomb in the meantime, Dexter just has the bomb as it come out T-Con dry, and this round is falling apart from SKADE. They're going to lose everyone and spot a keep 4.
Yeah, and not only keep 4, but they've gone from FAMAS and MP9 to triple AKs. So this is, I mean, businesses can literally not get any better right now for the ESPADA side. And SKADE, that was just such a sloppy round, right? They kind of had no answer to the delays and the halting happening towards Ivy, and they just got stuck behind those smokes and behind the Molotovs in the exchange of utility on Ivy. I mean, they had no backup plan at all there, Keith.
Yeah, it seemed like they're just trying to force the issue. And well, their mail got returned to sender. And now SKADE going for an aggressive pick. Dexter, it's so easy. Not even going to go for seconds. Just discipline across the board. He's going to fall all the way back. He's got the first. He knows the bomb was up there. They can afford to cheat a third person over in Sotfik. And they are just hanging out. And SKADE, I hope they're taking this round to discuss what they can do on their next rifle, because SKADE certainly have all of like the momentum right now.
You're right, though. I love the discipline there from Dexter. I think it's so easy to take the bait and just get really bloodthirsty on this kind of round. But if they can keep 4 alive or 5 alive here in this round, Keith, they've pretty much solidified their economy for multiple gun rounds in a row. But now a bit of a B execute is coming out here for SKADE. Smokes and Molotovs coming out. Allow them to gain a little space, but now they're out of everything. And if they can't get the bomb planted or gain some space here while the smokes are up, they are going to struggle. First kill goes their way. A 1-for-1 trade. Not bad so far, but damage has definitely been sustained here for SKADE.
Okay, Spellin, nice shot. 3v3, you can see the damage onto these SKADE players. Round 2 gets picked, and it is just Denny's Law with a deagle on site, and Patsy will find him. 5-0. SKADE lose 2. Not bad for SKADE to get a bomb plant and a little bit of damage. It's better than I thought they were going to get, if I'm going to be very honest.
I kind of agree with that. I think we're in agreement in that aspect. But yeah, bomb plant, 2 kills. Can't ask for too much more. Now they can get the op out. Now they can get the AK's full utility out as well. You know what I wonder? I wonder if double op on train will ever be viable on the T side.
Ooh. I mean, you're going to have the sickest defaults, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this map is so defaulty to begin with, right? It's almost like impossible to gain any space early on, unless you're rushing outside or rushing B.
That's true. You have to be really good with your utility and baiting out fights, but it seems like the SKADE are almost willing to give these fights, so I can see a double op being pretty viable. In the meantime, the smokes on site are going to be coming out. I don't think they have a red train smoke, no back red smoke. So this back site player in Sotfik can just peek, act like someone's there and smoke the molly, get Raptu's attention. But Sotfik gets caught looking. Damage comes in, he falls into the molly. Can Dima hold this back site? No, he gets traded out. And now the execute is beautiful from SKADE, just leaving one defender and Patsy. He knows where one player is. And he knows there's one close to him on site. He's actually given the 1v1. Rockin gets caught spamming a smoke. And it gives a chance for Patsy, who creeps on up. But the op back green and Denny's Law will peek, and SKADE get around. They go right to the strat book and just pull it and execute.
SKADE are such an interesting team to watch sometimes. I feel like there's some rounds where they look completely disjointed, but then there's literally the round after that, it's like the complete polar opposite. Like full cohesion, execute, they know exactly what to do. They're getting all the space, all the entries. It's actually insane how they can just turn up. And that's part of the reason why it's so hard for me to form an actual prediction on what version of SKADE we'll be seeing. I never know which number they're landing on. Are they on or are they off? Like, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But first round of the board, a good start. One more of those, you have a spot on an eco, you pull a potential third round on your side, and we have ourselves a half. But this is going to be a very important round here for SKADE, though.
Oh yeah, this is the bank breaker, if you will. And ESPADA just feeling no pressure was outside, the willingness to play 2 towards inner. Sofik on top of blue train. His spray is good for 1, controls it for 2, and his player here supporting him has got his back in just 2 bullets remaining, gets that kill, and all of a sudden it's Denny's Law, and he's stuck in a 1v4. The bomb is down, Roy, and everything's gone wrong. From a good round to a slaughter.
Dexter, man, That was insane. And I'm not. I don't remember exactly what player was on the top train there on the top pop, but that was
Sotfik, yeah.
That was so sick. The double kill right there was insane on the hold. And SKADE, they can't get anything rolling. They don't have enough money. That bomb plan would have definitely helped their situation a little bit here. Might have actually got them a buyout, but now they're down to Deagles and the hero opt for Spellin. Let's see if you can get anything going with that. Seems like he has it towards Ivy. They're looking for any sort of peak, any sort of bloodthirsty, eco-hungry players to trying to get some stats in, farm a little bit of stats.
There it is.
There it is.
Right when you speak it, Roy. It happens. Spellin's in front of the smoke. Patsy, he's gonna peek into it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, ESPADA, you're taking too many fights. You're taking too many peeks. Everyone's dead but Sotfik. The op will peek him. One for him. Can he get two? No. Shut down by Denny's Law. And SKADE with one op. Escape with 3 rifles and the op. That's a kick in the jewels.
Yeah, not only that, but they actually got 2 AKs out of that. So that's cool. That was a team ace, by the way, for SKADE. Every single player.
There you go.
They all won their duels, and that's kind of how it goes sometimes. But yeah, now their money is incredibly strong off that last round. I mean, they got everything they need. Now they're just gonna start. They're gonna turn up the aggression here, looking for that 3rd round on the board. And Rainwaker, he's definitely making it rain right now.
Money, money, money. Locking it down towards outside. Raftu's coming in through Ivy. Rainwaker's not stopping. Give him the ace. It'll get yoinked. That's fine. Spellin just gonna secure the round. Rainwaker just kind of running out there and just taking every duel he can. Against the Pistols, wanted to set a bit of a statement. And ESPADA will get a buy, includes an op on Dexter. We'll see if he goes for an aggressive peek. I think he has a decent spawn. No, he has the worst spawn. He has the worst spawn for any aggressive peek. So we'll see where he likes to go. He's 4 on your mini-map. But SKADE, there we go. Starting to get right back into this half.
Has Counter-Strike ever tried the idea of allowing people to run around spawn in free time so they can like choose their spawn? Has that ever been attempted in Counter-Strike? I really don't know, but we'll get into that in a second. It's gonna be straight action SKADE forcing smoke, but ESPADA, they're holding those smokes. They're waiting for that over-aggressive play from SKADE to come out and that overconfidence, and they just got punished severely for it.
Patsy, go on. 3 for him. Yeah, and then I think SKADE just kind of maybe got caught up in their own like success from last round. They're like, okay, we can do. That's their setup with pistols. They're gonna do it again with rifles. And ESPADA switch it up, and they just get shut down to SKADE. They can't win the duels. Their flashes are off the mark. They're trying to force through smokes, and it's just on lock. Dexter through the wall. Yep, give it to him. Yep, that's just what he does. And to add to your point, I don't know if it was attempted in 1.6 or Source. I didn't really watch or be around too much for that. But it's an interesting concept. I feel like if you let everyone move around, though, they'll all obviously just be as pushed up against as they can to the spawn line. But maybe it'd be cool that it gives you, like, on your minimap, you can select a spawn. And, like, it's a conversation you have to have with your team within the 20 seconds, you know?
Oh, like a tactical...
Yeah.
Everyone, choose your spawn now.
Yeah, and you have to like you have like 10 seconds. But okay, I'm gonna spawn here. I'm gonna go for this hot pick because we have it this round. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always a thought in my mind about Source 2, right? It's kind of like the big talking point right now. There's so many rumors flying around. It's kind of like that mysterious, like no one really knows what to expect from the Source 2 engine, right? We don't know what's gonna happen when that gets dropped. It's always interesting to hear different ideas of like things that could be implemented and things that could be viable.
Okay, so you're allowed to pick your spawns only on your 4 tac pauses.
Ooh, that is very interesting.
See, that would be sick. Because then you have 4 rounds where you can put a strat
choose your
right
fate.
out of spawn. Yeah.
That does minimize the RNG a little bit, I will admit.
Yep.
That means only you get 2 per half, theoretically, right? Unless you want to use all 4
unless you want to use all 4 1/2, yeah.
Huh. Okay. That's actually pretty interesting, because you can just choose a strat, right? It's not spawn based anymore, you just pick a strat, run their spawns. That'd be really cool, actually. I'd like to see that attempted. Here we go. Let's see what's going on right now. SKADE, they already got Rainwaker past enemy lines. I mean, he's already through the sandwich. And I think he's been heard, but not seen quite yet.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, well, you know, we said he was heard, but not seen. And apparently, it doesn't matter. Zima is just owning with his M4. I love that word. Is he's going to be able to get 2 from back sight. That's just Dima things. And now SKADE have to push him to the site. They don't want to use utility because they want to get the the surprise drop. But they're down a man.
Dexter is patiently waiting. He's holding down the back lines. Not going for the aggro peak. So Rafter right now thinks that maybe that's an option at some point. Oh! Oh!
It happened.
I mean, that was a nice shot. That was a nice shot.
It was a nice shot. Yeah. That was a flick, though. Can it be clutch from Denny's Law? Can he recover? No. That was a quick. That was spicy.
That was a nice shot. I mean,
yeah,
hey, wrong player, but nice shot. I will give him that. Oh my lord, there's no way I just saw that.
You know you're on edge when you just shoot at anything. Like that's not the regular okay, well.
I'm just wondering what the comms are like right now in the Discord or TeamSpeak or wherever they're in right now.
It's probably atrocious.
Like, do you think they're laughing or do you think they're just mad?
I bet no one's talking right now. Not a person. And now they come. No, so that round happens. Then they come into this round and get double open picked on. Make it 3 with no response. Yeah, I think there's going to be a pause after this. And I have a feeling it's only going to be one person talking. I think everyone's going to be a little upset on the SKADE side. But Denny's Law, he's been great at getting some kills. Can he continue? They'll trade tags. And Dexter's goes to the pistol. Secures them the 9th. Yeah, I would say SKADE's probably a little upset.
Yeah, I think this would be a good time to pause. Chill for a second. Discuss, get the team back on the same page. But instead, they're going to run the time, and they're going to keep it rolling. You know, I figured in 2020, Keith, people would start using their tag pauses. But, you know, maybe some trends never die.
Some bad trends never die.
Yeah. Like, you have so much time to just relax, calm down, reassess the situation, make adjustments that you need to.
Well, they're just going to hero AK and force it outside. Roy, when in doubt, give an AK to Raftu. But how are they going to get past this op of Dexter? He is not missing shots, looking so clean, controlling his crosshairs. He's just going to go up to heaven, have another shot, more damage dealt through the E-box, because why not? It's Dexter. He's gone mad! He jumps out of heaven with a CZ. His teammates got his back. They maintain. What is this game?
Jesus. 10-3 though. Now we're starting to tread into pretty dangerous waters for SKADE, aren't we? I feel like you gotta get at least 4 here.
Yeah.
4, 5. 5 buys you a little bit more room for error on the pistol. Like, it's not as important with 5 rounds. 4 rounds, you're kind of like, you kinda need the pistol, but it's not for sure death if you have 4. But with 3 on the board, you're looking at pretty much impending doom if you lose that pistol.
Yeah, because then you have to force buy. I mean, you can full save and get a meh rifle out, but most teams double force or force once and get an upgrade pistol, then get a full buy. So, yeah, you're kind of in a weird spot, and you're gonna have to make a massive comeback run. So, this round's important, and 1-for-1 is not bad for SKADE. I like this contact out Ivy because ESPADA have to keep 2 players towards B early, and now they're going to start to rotate back. Does Rainwalker get timing? Oh, he does! Dexter shuts it down. A good trade from Denny's Law. And there you go, Raftu. Can he double in? Can he find Soxpick? His teammate will. So there you go, SKADE. Just work every entry to the A site and just pinch the players. I'm surprised they got away with it as much as they did.
Right? It's actually almost insane how different they look on some rounds versus other rounds. Like, that was a textbook, beautiful ace play, pinch, right? They got the control towards, they got the opening pick. That leaves a gap on the outer courtyard. Immediately, almost. But hold that thought for a second, because I think Finnegan's attempting this. I was ball pick his way back to the site, and Finnegan can claim this kill right here. No, he won't. He's just going to get shot down and naded by Rocking. And that is SKADE putting up 4. That's not bad. Now, the economy for ESPADA is, I think, fine here for a full purchase. Not sure if Patsy got a drop or not, though. Yeah, he's going to get an MP9 out. So that's not too shabby. I think he's been the latter E-box player anyway, so he can probably just go ahead and claim that spot regardless. And again, 5 rounds on the T side of train, back without the SGs, right? This is a pretty good half, all things considered, for SKADE.
Yeah, no, I think they'll take it. And their CT side, I imagine is going to be more comfortable, as most teams are now on trains. So they won't be too upset. But this last round kind of determines if they're going to be happy or not. Of course, no up on Denny's loss. They're just going to be creeping. 4 towards B, spell into cut rotations. Sotfik, he's down. Finicky, can he hang on to this? His M4 gets 2 on an angle that should have been traded right away. Gets away with it. And now it's a 2v2. Denny's Law's HP is low. The bomb's going to go down from Raf 2. And is Denny's Law going for the long con flank on 6 HP? That's ballsy. And then Raf 2 is stuck here in a 1v2, having to stay alive. Denny's Law has to pick up the pace because he's going very slow and his teammate's gone. I don't know what happens. I think that's just round.
Yeah. I not a big fan of that play, to be honest. It's not planted for that person. It's kind of a overly aggressive play. I think he just kind of just overthought himself to death, thinking he made an amazing play.
There's no way, right?
Nah, yeah. There's no way. There's no idea where the bomb is planted or where the player's defusing from. And it's going to be a SKADE claiming 11. I would have liked to see them play that 2v2 out on the B side. Just take your chances, man. You know where they're coming from. You already have the flank covered. They're just going to be coming from the forward back of the B site. So a bit of a... Sometimes there's an overthinking, right? Like there is such a thing as overthinking a situation.
Yeah, especially considering he didn't have a molly, and I know he thought maybe he could catch off the Ivy rotator because that was one of the players left, but timing was just not in their wheelhouse. Now 11-4, that half wasn't as great as it could have been. That last round definitely had some potential, but their CT side going to be aggression right off the gate, a flash to fight these 2 Ivy players, but the Ivy players tuck in, and it's a counter flash from Sotfik. Raftu may be in a world of hurt here. He's not blind, but they trade it out regardless. And the P250's closing the gap on these USPs, and Jexter gets 2. An armor P250 on the T side in the right hand can shut the round down, Roy. And it's just rocking and Denny's Law coming from ladder.
Jexter, P250 in hand, but he will get eliminated by rocking to make things a little bit more manageable now for his team. Dennis Law, rocking, both have armor. Together, side by side. If they can find these long-range engagements, that will surely be favorable for them. That's one found, but they're not expecting this player to be inside. I was just about to say, they're not expecting this player to be inside Z, and that's Patsy, the young gun for his SKADE, claiming ground for the team. Now it's all down to rocking, and he's been rocked out of the server. Keith and his SKADE claim the pistol, an important round to get this momentum rolling and to get the train rolling on this T side.
Yeah, that was such a nice round, just well executed from a SKADE. They got control, they distracted the Ivy players, they traded out that one Ivy push, and P250 just closed ground, and now SKADE have to buy the Scouts some pistols and MP9. The buy from a SKADE is comfortably better, I'd say. Obviously not great, but it's certainly better. And a lot of pressure on Raftu, a lot of pressure on the Scouts to find some tag damage. But I'd say SKADE, they lose this. It's an upward battle. They get a molly ladder completely.
Oh, that is...
Oh my goodness, those mollies are so nasty. Raftu just fully dies to it, nowhere to go.
That's not his fault, actually.
Wait, was there a teammate molly there?
No, the smoke didn't extinguish the front molly, so he had nowhere to hide in the ladder ring. I think he just got CSGO'd. That's unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Behind the E-box, all pinched, nowhere to stand. He will be eliminated as well. Spot up. Just great utility usage. A little bit of luck there for them as well to clear that ladder player. If they couldn't clear that ladder player out, I think that would have been an entirely different scenario there for SKADE. But unfortunately, it happens. And a spot up. They do put up the 13th on the board. And I think they have a follow-up round here for SKADE. I don't imagine they take the bait and force buy. So it should be, if things go according to plan, a potential 14-4 start here on this T side for ESPADA.
Wow. What a run from ESPADA. Really impressing me, Roy, with their team play, their cohesion. And I feel like it's hard to get a free kill on them. Like, I feel like nearly every time either you get traded or there's someone quickly attempting to level it out the numbers. So ESPADA are very scary right now. And I bet there's other teams in their in this pool looking at them going, I really don't want to play them right now. They're looking really good.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, ESPADA were one of the finalists, right, for Winners League Season 3?
I believe they made a deep run, if memory serves.
Yeah, so I just been watching so much games and so many Counter-Strike, it's just kind of hard to keep track of. But I'll have to double-check my sources here. But yeah, I don't think SKADE are going to take the bait. They're going to go for the safe buy here with pistols. And they're gonna look for the ops in this next round though. That should help them out significantly.
Yeah, I'd imagine once they get the ops out, they can shut down this ESPADA aggression, which does leave them open for punishment, especially if they're going to overlook some utility just to try to work the frags. In the meantime, Sokvik scores outside, and it should just be a cleanup. And Roy, so there's Dima and then there's Dima Sick, right? Or are they the same person? Am I losing my mind?
No, I think there's two different people. There's one shot Dima and there's the other Dima.
Okay, cool. Both great players.
Oh yeah, I was correct. So actually, SKADE won last season of Winners League.
Yeah, there you go. See, we knew they made a deep run.
I knew they were in the finals. I just couldn't remember if they actually won or not.
Yeah, they're
defending champs.
Yeah, defending champs, and I guess they're coming out and showing why. It's kind of hard to play against them.
I honestly just find that I don't know if it's a contractual differences in EU and NA, but I just love seeing teams like season to season just have the same exact roster. Like Chaos, for example, on the NA side, they went through like 5 roster changes in like 3 days. It felt like
yes, because they lost 2 players, signed 2 players, lost 1 player, signed another player.
Right, and it was like Leaf is going to play Valorant. No, Leaf is back. Welcome back, Leaf. It's like, dude, this is like within a day. Like,
wait, is he actually back or is he gone now? He's gone.
He's gone now again. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, Jesus, man. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, I feel like NA, there's the top 3 teams, the only ones that haven't made a roster change in a long time. And believe it or not, Mythic. Like, those teams haven't made roster changes in forever. Everyone else, I don't know. We're addicted to it, Roy. But this is a big round for SKADE. Double ops on the CT side may make all the difference. But on a map like Train, when you have 1 molly and 2 smokes and a minute 35 in, you're going to rely a lot on these ops.
Another interesting note is that SKADE opted to go for head armor this round instead of the extra utility, knowing that there's the wheels and back tents in place. That's actually really smart. Rocking is going to use a Molotov and flood the sidewalk on the opening pick, as well as a sprayed out for a second. And Spellin is there to back him up with the op, and they find themselves in a really advantageous scenario here. The 4 versus 1 now with Rainwaker on the high ground, and it's all down to Sokvik. Mac 10 in hand, and I think this is an L he's also holding in his other hand. I'm not sure he's going to get this one. Yeah,
it's going to be a bit difficult with a Mac 10. And it will walk right in. So, SKADE hang on to 2 of the ops they brought into the round. They get an AK upgrade on Raft 2. And you know what? They can start to go on a bit of a run here. This is going to be ESPADA dumping cash into this round. Unfortunately, with the way the loss goes and everything works up, they're still going to be on, after this round, 1900, so it'll be another buy. So SKADE gonna have to fight back-to-back buys here, Roy.
With double up and full utility, it should not be that big of a problem.
Ooh, I like this aggression from Spellin. Smoke, nade, will it hit? Ooh, a little bit. Finnegan will feel that for about a couple minutes. In the meantime, ESPADA's gonna get Ivy control, so it's the spread default. T-con, upper B, ladder work. We've seen it before, but will it work out?
And Dexter's hunting for shoulders there. Didn't quite land the shot. Spellin, he's doing some solid work right now on ladder. Denied control, did 40 damage to Finnegan. I mean, you can't really ask for much more than that. But problem is now they're starting to advance on Ivy. Rainwaker, he's ready for that with one of the ops. The flash angle is high. That's going to push him off the angle. That's actually so sick. Now Dexter's posted up. And if Rainwaker goes for the repeat, he might catch an op bullet. But there's a lot of pressure on the A side. That extra player needs to come back towards to help them on the A defenses, because right now they're getting picked apart, Keith.
Yeah, they certainly need some help. Sokvik gonna be able to find Raft 2, and this site's opened up, but the rotates are in. Old bomb at on site is where the SKADE members stand, and jumps up, is rocking, and he gets caught. It's just Denny's Law. And he is hopping to the back lanes as the bomb will get planted. Or at least faked out as they try to figure out where he escaped to. This is going to be so hard for Denny's Law to get back in. Gets the one, but he's not ready for Dexter to be close. SKADE have to go 10 rounds. They have to go flawless, Roy. It's going to have to be one hell of a run.
Yeah. You can say that again. And look what they're working with in this final round as well. The double map P9s. They have an ump for rocking. They have the 2 M4s at the very least. They have some firepower, but no op, no kits. Bomb gets planted. Big problems there. Let's see if they have something in mind here. How to tip the scales back into their favor a tiny little bit. They're gonna go for the ladder, but Finn again. He's not falling for that play again. He's waiting, ready for that, and he claims an opening kill, as well as using the utility to push back this ladder player. So far, a good start for ESPADA. How come that smoke is not putting out that Molotov?
It has to be a glitch spot, right? Like, there's no way that... I feel like the Molly and ground interaction, because I'm just going to quickly go on a quick rant while everyone's chilling. CSGO recently made an update where nades and stairs have a different, like hitbox now, so they fixed the nade stairs eating the nade. And I think they messed with how nades interact with the floor again. So I think certain spots, if the ground's a little weird, the nades don't interact properly. So I think that's one of those spots.
Yeah, it's just so odd. That must be really annoying for the ladder players who are just accustomed to having some sort of consistency there. But right now, I love this decision from ESPADA. You got the opening pick towards the A side. That pretty much forces at least 2-3 players to remain on the A defenses. And they've regrouped towards the B side now. Rocking, he's going to try to hold this one back. And all he has, Keith, is an ump. And his only flashbang just got used up. Now he's going to use that flash to maintain control of sidewalk. The remaining players for ESPADA are flooding into all direction, and he's been found by Patsy. He smelled the weakness here in the defenses, and he finds that pick. Raftu, Rainwaker. Double flank coming in now for SKADE as well. That might be the key, actually, but Rainwaker finds 2 kills, and hold on, Keith, just a second. They might have clawed their way out of this really weird situation.
Oh. Yeah, Dexter's on 1 HP. He's going to flash and peek, but he knows they have to plant. Dexter can't even afford to jump down there. He has to take the ladder. Raftu's on the hunt, taking shots from the player back, taps him down, 3 seconds. Spellin can just live, and I'm surprised Spellin committed to coming down here. Gonna try to find Dexter. Oh, a little risky of a peek, because now he has no money, and doesn't get any of the loss bonus. Actually, it was yeah, he gets nothing, right? Yeah, he's poor.
Yep, he's pretty poor. And okay, the umps and the MP9s, they do work. Although I think the MP9s only got 1 kill. It was Rainwaker mostly, but they got it done. That's all that matters. The problem is now, though, is they didn't quite get much out of that. They couldn't pick up any of the AKs. They couldn't get the op. Okay, I like that. A little nade combo.
Interesting.
That's actually pretty sick, right? To have that player fight and have the nade land at the same time. I love it.
Smart. I know a lot of teams like to do like nades from red train up towards top ladder just to help that train player. So probably see that more and more.
But this is somehow an advantageous scenario for ESPADA. The double lurk towards Ivy, that was actually successful. Now SKADE have to decide what they want to do, and it's going to be Raptor just swinging out and finding the double kill onto Dexter and Dima. And Patsy Sotfik looking to reclaim any sort of lead right here. But from the high ground, Patsy is just ripping them apart. They know exactly where Rocking is now. And it's a 2 versus 1. The bomb is transitioning to B. Patsy's looking for a way out, but he's just going to linger here for now. But I think Rocking, he might have an idea of what's happening.
Oh, I like this from Rocking. Giving up on that 1v1 and running straight to the side. He knows the bomb's getting planted. Sotfik is actually able to escape. And I think the goal here is to let Sotfik peek, and Patsy just straight up baits him into eternity. Into their next game. Just hard bait, Patsy. Rocking does have a smoke and a kit. Smoke goes down, and he's going to get on it. This is an awkward plant spot. Can they find him? Sotfik's going with a knife. He's going to start hitting him, and he gets him. The defuse, does it come in, though? It did. He got it.
You know what happened? You know when you miss your first left click and you go left, left, right, and it does only like 95 damage? That's what happened. He missed the first left click and he went left, left, right and brought him down to 1 HP, dude. I can't believe it.
No. Damn.
Wow.
The game continues. We keep going. SKADE scraping by. And I like this. Right into T-Con control. Get control early. Force them into Rocking with his rifle. He's been great. Does a quick rotate in Denny's Law. And it's just the execute from ESPADA. They know they shouldn't be able to afford not, but Denny's Law able to get the first. And he works around the site and lines them up. 2 from Denny's Law, 1 from Rocking from Cloud as he drops down to support his teammate. And it's just Sotfik remaining, and he's gone. SKADE.
Wow.
Clean.
That was. And they got a lot of weapon upgrades off that too. So they got the AKs, they got the M4s out right now as well. Their money's starting to build up. So if, you know, no matter what happens, even if they lose several players, they can still pump out buys. But of course, they're at the end of the lifeline, right? So a lost round here is really not an option. It has to be a win. But they're not able to get their money good enough for the op yet, though. They still don't have the scope weapon key.
Ooh, an opening pick. Spellin is gone, Roy. A fight he's felt confident in taking. As Finnegan will get tossed to the op. Dexter, as competent on the AK as he is the op. We've seen that. As Patsy looks to just maintain ladder and upper B control, make sure no push is coming in. And Dexter wants his op back. He lets him hold it for all of like 20 seconds. Like, you know what? Never mind, bro. I kind of want my op back.
Yeah, hold that.
Good luck peeking with an AK and 14 HP. LOL. That's pretty much what just happened.
Why don't they just give the AK to Sophic? He's just like way healthier.
Yeah, exactly. And just give Finnegan the deagle.
Yeah, just let him enter with the deagle, man. Just send him in.
Yeah, that's too much logic, Roy. You're overthinking it.
True.
Well, it seems like ESPADA are eventually going to group up here. And SKADE have completely left the B site. They push in. Oh, and the ops back. They completely push in. Push in B to get the info that's clear and back up. And so it's going to be rocking again alone towards the cloud side of things. So it's a bit of a fake to let the Ivy player work up. And they're going to come down ladder. But there's a player here. They haven't cleared this. An oversight from ESPADA, thinking they could just take ladder for free. Rainwalker's holding the smoke in the meantime. He wins that duel against Dima. An upgrade to the AK. Denny's Law is still living. Dexter needs to kill this Ivy player now so they can plant. There you have it. But rocking on site rotates, and it's just Finnegan saving the op. ESPADA. Some bumps in the road to victory.
Wow. I have to admit, though, Dennis Law kind of just saved him out of that round on the ladder control there. So, of course, I think it was Rainwaker who took the first initial duel in the ladder and lost it to Finnegan. And Dennis Law literally just walked up and took the same exact position. And obviously, once you kill one player there, you're not really expecting a second one to be doing the exact same thing. And that's where he caught them off guard. Smoke to maintain control. The second kill that he won in the ladder room pretty much solidified their lead there. And SKADE. They skate on by. They maintain a sense of hope. And I think if they break 10 rounds here or 11 rounds, I'll regain faith. I think it's possible. They're heating up, Keith.
Definitely heating up, Roy. But it kind of came a little late, so now there's more pressure on them to keep it going. They let ESPADA get 15 very early. At one point, I think we were 13-4, if memory serves. Something around there, so it's been a good turnaround. Or maybe it was 13-4. Someone can correct me. As I said, memory of an old man I have, Roy. As Dexter looks to work a pick with this op that he saved. And you know what? He may be successful in finding Denny's Law. Depends where he's looking. With the utility coming down, but rocking closer on the head angle. Rocking Denny's Law, finding success as Denny's Law climbs up the ladder. Dexter gets caught sleeping. And it is just Finnegan with that picked up AWP. And he's in a little bit of a pickle.
Yep, you could say that. I would have looked to see a different approach here for ESPADA. Maybe just let the op find the opening pig. Just let the Deagles just hang out for a second. Work the op. If he dies, just someone else pick it up and keep doing the same thing over and over until something goes. Instead of just sending in the pistol to die there. But it's just semantics at this point. It's definitely a disadvantageous scenario. But now we're at the 15-10 mark. This is where things start to get a little interesting here. SKADE, they have everything they need now, Keith. They got the double op. They got double AKs. I mean, literally the only better buy would be a third AK there for rocking. That's not a big detail. I think the only thing that successfully worked for ESPADA has just been the A crunch, really.
Yeah.
Slow play towards Ivy, sending out the player out T-Con, and having the ladder player just maintain control and positioning while the remaining players work up.
It seemed to be consistent at the least in getting them picks and making it close rounds. Even when they did it on pistols, they were able to bring it to a 2v1. So Yeah, maybe they're going to start to ignore B because Rocking is getting the rotations, getting the kills. And Denny's Law with his op has been pretty precise. So 26 kills for Patsy, 26 for Dexter in the meantime. They're both having a game as we start to go the distance.
Yeah, there's kind of the player that we overlooked, right? We talked a lot about Dexter. We talked a lot about Dima and Sophic, but we didn't really talk at all about Patsy, who's kind of like been one of the hard hitters for SKADE, even last season as well. And I think he's the youngest on the roster, if I'm not mistaken.
I can confirm that for you, Roy. Give me a moment.
Now, once again, I think SKADE has adapted quite nicely to the successes of the SKADE in this half. They're already countering the Ivy control. They already maintain control of ladder, so the A-Crunch is not really an option. And Dennis Law peeks out, but he only finds the leg, trying to finish off his target. But in the meantime, Dima will eliminate Rainwaker, and Raftu burns to death inside the ladder as well. And it's now a double man advantage for SKADE, and the potential finish line here available.
Ooh, Spellin. Nice shot on Dima, and you are right. He's 16 is Patsy, while Dexter's 18. So yeah, 16 playing this consistent against some of the best tier 2 teams in Europe. That's damn. And in the CIS region, of course, he is just doing work as he is going to slowly get B control. SKADE fall off of A after the success and will push right into Rocking, who's getting aggressive. Patsy loses that fight. No trade frag, but they find Spellin towards A, and they can immediately transition back towards outside. Rocking and Denny's Law. Can they get out B in time? Denny's Law is successful. And now he's mollied off. May want to consider rotating the back lanes, but no smoke yet to hold him back. Buying time for Rocking. Finnegan has an idea. Posts on it. Well played, and it's just Denny's Law. Finnegan's going to be jiggling this, going to be waiting for his chance to peek. Dexter will spot. Finnegan's going to peek, and he's posted, and he gets it. There you have it. SKADE will finally get across the line. It took some work. It took some elbow grease. But their first half kind of secured them this game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree anymore. That first half was flawless almost from the SKADE side. But this is kind of what we were hoping to see, right? That battle back and forth. I think 1 or 2 more rounds, or even just winning the pistol would have just pretty much guaranteed everything there for SKADE and give him a real fighting chance to bring it into OT or at least secure a 16-14 win. But for now, it is SKADE, the defending champions, claiming the win and starting off on a right note here in Winners League Season 4 for the EU division. But for now, we are out of here. Shout out to VBet, our sponsor. And if you're in here right now and you're enjoying the content, you're enjoying yourself, please follow our socials: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Everywhere you are, we're there as well. Follow this beautiful man on Twitter and me down here below. And of course, our producer, Observer Melanie. She does an amazing job behind the scenes. But for now, we will be going offline and we will be back in 1 hour and 15 minutes for our next match, Kova versus Fate, which should be a pretty good matchup.